One of the coolest pieces of business advice that I ever heard actually came from my favorite stand-up. It was called If I, and it was by Demetri Martin. And the whole stand-up is really well worth watching. It talks about his life journey, how he was obsessed with palindromes, his obsession with puzzles, how he went to law school, got through the first 2 years, hated it, and dropped out in the very last year. It's really interesting talking about his journey and the way he thinks and just the consequences of what we do. But the very end of it is the absolute best part, where he gives this formula. The formula was if plus if plus if plus if plus if divided by time. And that equaled I. I equals the possibilities divided over time.
Okay, maybe I'm getting carried away. But I think I did figure something out. I equals all of the ifs added up over time. The ifs, those are the possibilities. That's infinite for all of us. Every day, there are just millions of them. Time, that's finite for each of us. No question there. Maybe if you divide the choices by the amount of time you have, the real I can emerge, depending upon those choices.
And that's pretty simple, but it's also this really powerful thought that who we are and the things we accomplish are very largely in our hands. They're pretty much determined by the steps we're taking, divided over the amount of time that we're taking them. And that's true now more than it probably ever has been in any other point in history, especially when it comes to our businesses, because the costs of so many things are lower. The barriers to entry are a lot lower. We don't need nearly so much capital to start a new project or expand on an existing one. So largely, it really does come down to what we're going to do and how long we're willing to do it, and obviously doing it in the correct way and having a good strategy about it. Our futures are largely in our own hands. How well we do, what we accomplish, and the kind of things that we achieve are mostly determined by what we're willing to do and the decisions that we make.
In the end, all I can say is, you can't figure out a person. Definitely not yourself. You can't maximize a life. What you can do is try to be honest in the choices that you make. Be true to yourself, no matter how embarrassing those choices are. Life is not a science, I realize that. But if I told you that right now, I don't have a point system of some kind, I'd be a liar. Look, I'm a guy who does palindromes, tell jokes about leather jackets, because that gives me some meaning, at least for now. And you know what? I apologize for none of it. Because the unexamined life is not worth living, man.